It's the so-called doomsday cult mom, Lori Vallow Daybell, and we call her the so-called doomsday cult mom for a reason, because of some of her beliefs. And there are several numbers associated with this case: 2 missing children, 3 dead adults, and 144,000.
We're gathering together as saints, as brothers and sisters, and preparing for the second coming of Christ. We want to be there together, and we want to be there strong together.
Hey, what's up? Today I'm going to be telling you about the cult mom, not to be confused with Tot Mom.
Tot Mom, Casey Anthony on trial for the murder.
Cult Mom believes the world is going to end this July. She has 2 missing children, and at least 3 people in her life have died under mysterious circumstances. This case has a lot to it, so let's get right into it. The cult mom's name is Lori Vallow, and Lori Vallow was born in Idaho to a devout Mormon family. People who remember her growing up remember her being very devoted to her faith and just a really sweet and beautiful young lady. So in 1992, cult mom gets married to an unknown man, but they get divorced pretty quickly, and by 1995 she is on to her second husband, a man named William. They have a son together named Colby.
Colby, C-O-L-B-Y, and last name Ryan, R-Y-A-N.
And let's start with this, so we have this on camera.
Okay.
How are you related to this whole case, this whole story?
So I am Lori Vallow's son.
That marriage also did not last very long, and by 2001, cult mom was on to her third husband, a man named Joseph Ryan. They had a kid together, a daughter named Tylee Ryan. People who knew the family said they were a really nice, normal family. Tylee was a really popular girl. Cult mom appeared on the Wheel of Fortune game show, and she appeared in some beauty pageants. Cult mom would eventually divorce Joseph as well, and by 2006 she was on to her fourth husband, a man named Charles Vallow. Charles was actually a Catholic, but he converted to the Mormon faith for Lori. Charles was a very successful businessman in Arizona. He did investments and things like that, so Arizona is where they lived. In 2014, cult mom and her husband Charles Vallow happily adopted Joshua J.J. Vallow. They adopted J.J. from Charles's sister, who calls herself J.J.'s grandmother.
J.J. had a remarkable memory. He was reading at 3. He was doing math at 3. And the books he read was not See the Rabbit Run. It was books.
Turn out the lights. Party's over.
Larry and Kay Woodcock are JJ's biological grandparents. The Woodcocks kept in close touch with their grandson, often FaceTiming from their home in Louisiana.
And I'd talk, and the first thing he always says, "Papa."
What's your new favorite toy? Show Mama Papa.
Go.
Apparently JJ had some special needs. He was autistic, actually, and so he was a lot of work, but Charles and Lori seemed more than happy to take him in. Tylee loved JJ like he was her own blood brother. She was very protective over him, and they all seemed like this really happy blended family. In 2014, the family moved to Hawaii, the island of Kauai to be exact. Cult mom and her husband Charles Vallow opened some kind of juice bar type situation on the beach called Juice World. The family got a service dog for JJ. They named the dog Bailey, and Bailey and JJ were pretty much inseparable.
Fun working with both of them, but they were a team,
Bailey quickly got to work and started helping JJ.
Something that JJ really struggled with was sleeping through the night, staying in bed, and Bailey would be there in his bed, and JJ would stay there.
People in Hawaii really liked the Vallow family. People said that Lori was the mother that they wanted to be. She'd always take her kids on these interesting adventures. She even flew one of Tylee's friends out from Idaho to spend the summer in Hawaii so that Tylee wouldn't be lonely.
Tylee's close friend Vicea says Tylee is witty and clever, always one with the comeback.
Name 10 things you like about me right now.
Vicea described the Vallow family as generous and kind.
Her family was kind of like my second family.
Even when Lori, Charles, Tylee, and JJ moved from Arizona to Hawaii, Vicea says Lori paid to fly her out there for the summer so Tylee could hang out with her best friend.
I would even like to call her mom my mom.
They attended services on the island's Mormon temple, and they were pretty much known as this, adventurous, outgoing family. People were creeped out, however, by Lori's brother, who is named Alex Cox.
Brother's a DJ here on Moving 97.5, and he gave me backstage passes to go meet Britney Spears. And I thought that was cool because I never met a celebrity that big, and I thought, I'll get her a gift because I don't know the proper protocol or anything. So I gave her the gift, and she was really sweet, she was very appreciative, but she seemed a little confused by the gift, like she didn't know what it was. I got her underwear, and it had a little aloe vera lining because the last time I saw her, it looked tired.
Alex seemed very subservient to Lori. He would pretty much do anything she asked. What creeped people out the most about Alex was that he bragged a lot that he had unsuccessfully tried to take out Cult Mom's third husband, Joseph Ryan, or Tylee's dad. Joseph Ryan did go on to die of a heart attack in 2018, by the way. So there's that. But anyway, after a couple of years, the family decided to move back to Arizona. Apparently, Charles had more business there, and that's just where they needed to be. It's kind of unclear, but at some point back in Arizona, Lori became radicalized. Cult Mom became an avid listener of the podcast Preparing a People. Preparing a People is a doomsday, preparing for the end of the world type of podcast. The podcast is aimed at Mormons like Lori, but the beliefs that they teach on that podcast are a lot more extreme than, regular Mormon faith. The podcast was basically telling all other Mormons that they need to wake up or else they'd be going straight to hell with the rest of us. The podcast Preparing a People and their followers believe that the world is going to end on July 22nd of 2020. And with the way the world's looking right now, they might be onto something. They believe that Jesus will return on that day and bring 144,000 people back to the New Jerusalem with him. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is going to be destroyed in this horrible way, and everyone else is going to go to hell. One of the podcast hosts was 51-year-old Chad Daybell. Chad actually published 26 books about this doomsday stuff. Cult Mom actually read all of Chad Daybell's books, and she kind of became obsessed with his teachings. Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow actually met at a Preparing a People conference, and they became fast friends. Meanwhile, back at the Vallow home, things were getting pretty interesting. Cult Mom began saying she was the reincarnation of Elizabeth Smith, who is the granddaughter of Mormon's founder Joseph Smith. She also began referring to her husband Charles as Nick Snyder. She actually believed that Charles was now a zombie and that someone named Nick Snyder had stolen his identity and taken over his body. Cult Mom actually claimed she was the second coming of Christ, and that she was here to collect all the 144,000 souls to go back to the New Jerusalem with her. Lori warned Charles that if he got in the way of her mission, she would have to kill him and that angels would dispose of his body. And she actually disappeared from the family, the husband and the kids, for 52 days. No one knew where she was. So the husband, Charles, was obviously very disturbed by all of this. He got a restraining order against Lori, and he actually tried to have her involuntarily committed. Charles filed for divorce from Lori and sought sole custody of his daughter Tylee. For unknown reasons, the divorce was dropped a few months later, and they decided that they would try to work things out.
Charles, are you sure you're not making this up? He said, I can't make this up.
Kay Woodcock is familiar with all of it. She's Charles Vallow's sister.
I was sleeping with one eye open. People that I've spoken with that said she would just be doing something. She said, well, Charles just has to go. He just has to go. And wrap your brain around all this stuff she's saying? I can't do it.
She also told her friends about a prediction she was having. A prediction that Charles would die. By July of 2019, Charles and Colt Mom had officially separated. Colt Mom, her brother Alex, Tylee, and JJ were all living in a house paid for by Charles Vallow, and Charles Vallow had his own place at that time. And one day in July of 2019, Charles came by to pick up JJ when he supposedly got into a very heated argument with Lori. At one point, 17-year-old Tylee came out with a baseball bat to defend her mother, but Charles took the baseball bat from her and started pounding on the brother, Alex Cox. That is when Alex ran to another room, got a gun, and shot Charles Vallow in self-defense.
Where is your emergency?
It's at 5531 South Four Peaks.
You need
Yes.
police or paramedics?
Both. I'm in police and an ambulance. I got in a fight with my brother-in-law and I shot him in self-defense.
Okay, let me get the medics on the phone. And is he hurt or is he alive? Or?
Yeah, there's blood. He's not moving.
How long ago did this happen?
A couple of minutes.
Fire department, what is the address of the emergency?
5531.
And what is the emergency?
I shot my brother-in-law.
Okay, what part of his body is injured?
In the chest.
I'm sorry, where?
In the chest.
Okay, is he awake and responsive or unconscious?
Unconscious.
Okay, is he breathing?
I can't tell.
Okay, are you willing to go over to him and check?
Sure.
Okay, do you just let me know if you see his chest going up and down? How old is he?
It's not moving. He's 60.
Okay, and are you wanting to start CPR?
No, I don't know how to do that.
I can walk you through it.
Okay.
And what I want you to do is you're going to put one hand in the center of his chest.
Yeah.
The other hand's going to go right on top of it.
Okay.
You're going to interlock your fingers, keeping your arms straight, and you're going to press down hard and fast into his chest. You're going to go 2 inches down and fairly quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4. PD, we're going to stage for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, just keep going with those compressions. PD, did you have any other questions?
Yes, what's your name, sir?
My name is Alex. Last name is Cox, C-O-X.
And where are you in the house now?
In the living room.
And where is the gun?
It's in a bedroom.
Who else is there in the house with you?
Just me.
Okay, were you guys arguing when this happened?
Yeah,
And you said there's nobody else there, just you and him, correct?
correct.
Armed also, or just you, or what happened there?
Yeah, he came at me with a bat. No, he lives in Houston.
He's what, married to your sister? Is she? Where is she?
Correct. No, I think she's taking her son to school.
Some officers should be there. Let me know when they get inside to you. Is the front door open?
Yeah. It's unlocked.
Have a seat. Yeah. Got some ID on you, sir?
Who else is in the house? Okay, just have a seat right there. Let's get FD in here. Have a seat.
18th Street secure. We got the gentleman out.
You have some ID on you, sir?
Yeah.
What happened today? How did it get to this?
I don't know. He was enraged.
What's going on? What happened? No, what happened today, though? Like, just in the last 20 minutes.
He came at me with a bat.
Okay. Was he living here or
No.
visiting?
He came to pick up his son.
Okay, is the son inside?
No.
Okay, so it was just you at the house?
Yes.
And he came, how long, what time did he come to pick up the son?
I don't know, 20 minutes ago maybe. He was just yelling at me.
Okay, what was he yelling at you about?
He's not my sister because I've broken up the tussle with them earlier. And he told me not to interfere anymore with them or I'd pay. And he came at me with a bat.
Okay, so he showed up in the house with a bat in his hand?
No.
Okay, so
There was a scuffle earlier with my sister and my niece. My niece got involved.
about earlier meaning earlier this week, earlier
no,
this morning?
just this morning, before they left.
Before your wife left?
My sister.
Before your sister left?
Yeah.
Okay, who lives here with you?
Nobody. I don't live here. My sister lives here and my niece lives here.
And you're just visiting?
I was visiting for the night.
Okay, so you're over here visiting your sister and your niece?
Yes.
Okay, and there was a tussle between your sister and her husband?
Yes.
And does the husband live here or no?
No.
Okay, is he an ex-husband or just current husband?
They're working on that.
Gotcha. So at some point earlier today, they get into some type of domestic?
Yeah, just this morning, then they left, and then he came at me.
They left meaning who? Both of parties?
Yeah, my sister took my niece and my nephew.
Did he leave also?
No.
He stayed here?
He stayed.
So you guys are kind of talking in between or what? Who are you? Who are you? No, just go back. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So it's just you and your brother-in-law?
Yes.
Okay.
And then he picked up the bat.
Where was the bat at?
In the living room.
So you get in an argument? What is it over?
Well, it was over my sister. He was getting physical with her, and so my niece came out with her bat, and he took the bat away from her.
Wait a minute, I thought you said your niece left.
She did, but this is before.
So before your sister and your niece left,
yeah.
At some point your sister and her husband are arguing,
yeah.
And then your niece pulls out a bat?
Well, it wasn't verbal. He was getting close, and she came out to defend my sister.
Your niece?
Yes.
Okay.
And then she poked at him, and he took it away. I stepped in and told them they needed to separate.
Right.
So then my sister leaves with my niece.
And how long ago did they leave? It's been like an hour, 10 minutes?
20 minutes maybe, I don't know.
Okay. So not terribly long.
No.
Oh, okay. And where are you at? Where are you both
in the
at?
living room.
Okay.
And then I turned around, and he hit me in the back of the head with the bat. So I went to my room and got my gun.
You went to your room, meaning the room you're staying in?
Yeah.
Okay, and you brought a gun with you?
Yes.
Do you always bring a gun?
I have a concealed carry always.
Hi, who are you? Okay, just stand over there for just a second, guys. Walk me through it. So you go back in your room.
So I just went back to the living room. I'm like, what is your problem?
With the gun in your
Yes. And I said, I want you to put that bat down. And he wouldn't do it. And he's like, and he came at me with the bat again after he'd already hit me in the head. So I shot him to stop him.
Okay, and then what happened?
That was it.
Okay. Gotcha. The wife just showed up.
Yeah, I'm going to get some tape to take this off real quick.
Just think that for a second. Where's the weapon at now?
It's in the bedroom.
So after you shot him, you put it back in the room, or?
Yeah, I went back to the bedroom to get my phone.
Okay. And what'd you do with your phone?
Right here.
Okay. And then what'd you do once you put your gun back? Grabbed your phone?
I cleaned my head up.
After was he laying there in the living room?
Yeah, he was laying there still.
Guys, hang tight just for a second. Don't go in there. Partner, hang tight. Don't go in there just now, guys. It's now a crime scene, so hang tight. Okay, perimeter done. I'll just hold right here. Okay. If you want to just grab that inside perimeter. Just out of curiosity, how long have you known him? Long?
Yeah, 15 years.
Is that how long they kind of been married, kind of thing? Do you normally have a good relationship with the guy?
Yeah, I did.
So did you sleep here last night?
Yeah.
So what time did you about wake up this morning?
About 6:30 or so.
Normal day this morning, wake up? Just you, your sister, niece?
Gonna go do something fun today.
Anybody else in the house besides you three this morning?
My nephew's at school.
Yes, he's the brother of the wife. And then you're staying with his sister. Okay. Does your husband live here or no? Oh. Gotcha. Okay. You guys met. Gotcha. How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah, okay.
That's why the neighbors don't know us.
Gotcha.
Like, hi neighbor, sorry.
So yeah, these people are pretty chill for having someone just shot dead in their house, right? Police found Tylee to be acting a little bit strange, like her answers were scripted, and she wasn't talking like a regular 17-year-old. She was using phrases like "in retrospect" and stuff like that. So the police found it odd, but they really couldn't prove anything, and they ruled that the whole thing was just an accident and self-defense. It got weirder though, because that night, Lori threw a pool party. Neighbors heard loud music, and they said it sounded like someone was celebrating. Charles Vallow had 2 sons from another marriage, so Colt Mom would have to find a way to break this horrible news to them, and she did. Over a text message. Hi boys, I have very sad news. Your dad passed away yesterday. I'm working on making arrangements, and I'll keep you informed on what's going on. I'm still not sure how to handle things. Just want you to know I love you, and so did your dad. Heart. Can you imagine getting a message that your father died with a heart emoji at the end? So anyway, the boys responded, Lori, what happened? Where is he? And what happened? She says, I'll call you when I can, bub. He is here in Arizona. They text, where in Arizona? When did this all happen? How is JJ doing? What funeral home is he at? Lori, what the fuck happened? You can't just tell us dad died and disappear. You're not too busy to just let us know he died and disappear. Lori, it's been 3 hours. You're not that busy. I don't care what you're doing. I'm sorry you're so upset. I'm upset too. I'm trying to get JJ ready for bed. I'm waiting to hear back from the medical examiner to make sense of all this myself. Please be patient with me. It's a crushing situation all around. I'm still processing it myself and what it means for JJ. When and where are the funeral? How did all this happen? I want an explanation. Question mark. 2 hours later, another question mark. I'm still working on arrangements and sorting things out the best I can. I'll let you know when I know. Why aren't you telling me what happened? I've asked numerous times. Just tell me. Question mark. Question mark. Okay, Lori, it's been 3 days. You let us know our dad passed away over text message. 3 days and we haven't heard from anyone. The only information we have is that one text from you saying he passed away. You disappeared after that. We need any information you have. What happened? When did it happen? And how did it happen? Where is he now? Are there any funeral plans and can we be a part of it? We talk to him all the time and now he's gone. He was our dad and we loved him very much. We deserve answers. Also, why have you been the only one to contact us? We haven't heard from Colby or Tylee. I know they are affected by this too. I called Colby recently, but he didn't respond. Is JJ safe? And what does he know? I need to be kept in the loop about this all. This isn't a nonchalant topic you can just throw a text at and be done with it. These are your dad's wishes. He and I discussed this a lot over the years we have been together. My plan is to have him cremated as he wished and then take all 5 of you kids to Hawaii to spread his ashes. He did not want a funeral. He wants a celebration of his life. I've been overwhelmed, but I'm going to try to start the arrangements today. JJ is doing good, but he doesn't know his daddy is gone. It's so tough because he doesn't really understand. He says daddy is in California working. I know how much he loves your boys and always has. I have a lot to do with the business and contacting people, and it's also difficult. Today I'm going to try putting up a memorial page on the funeral home website. I'll send the link when I have it. I love you and so does your dad. I appreciate this information, but I will ask these questions again because I still haven't been given an answer. What happened? When did it happen? How did it happen? Where is he now? Is there a funeral? When is it? Who have you told about this? Give me all the information you have. Please. My brother and I deserve to know. And Lori just never responded to that text message. So they say, well, if you won't answer those questions, can we please have his watches and other stuff he always talked about and had around? Of course! Send me the address you want me to send the stuff to. Kay is supposed to clean out the Houston house. I told her to let you have whatever you want first, then she could give away the half or give away the rest. I know he wanted you to have all you want. So Lori did have Charles's body cremated and she did not attend his funeral. Meanwhile, Lori's friendship with Chad Daybell, you know, the doomsday podcaster person who wrote all those books I talked about, Lori and Chad's relationship blossomed. And by December of 2018, Lori and Chad started their own podcast, Time to Warrior Up. But Chad and Lori were just friends because Chad was very much unavailable. He already had a wife, Tammy Daybell, and 5 children in Rexburg, Idaho. Tammy Daybell was a beloved school librarian. She and Chad had been high school sweethearts, and Chad once called her his one and only. But recently, Chad had started telling people he had started to have psychic predictions that Tammy would die. Kinda like Lori had predictions that Charles would die. On October 9th, 2019, Tammy Daybell made a Facebook post. Something really weird just happened, and I want you to know so you can watch out. I had gotten home and parked in our front driveway. As I was getting stuff out the back seat, a guy wearing a ski mask was suddenly standing by the back of my car with a paintball gun. He shot at me several times, although I don't think it was loaded. I yelled for Chad and he ran off around the back of my house. So Tammy called the police, but they kind of dismissed it as it was probably just some teenager. 10 days after that, 49-year-old Tammy Daybell went to sleep and never woke up. Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell could finally live out their apocalyptic romance together. But there was something in the way. Lori's 2 kids, Tylee and JJ. So I think that's a good point to end part 1. I'll post part 2 in a couple days, so make sure you have the notification bell on and all that stuff.
Stay inside and save lives. Bye. Amazing when I'm next to you.